back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, thanks so much for stopping by today. For today's video, I have ColourPop's new collection called Plush Like Me. I have the palette, but I have the entire collection as well. So I have the blush sticks and all the lipsticks and the lip liners and whatever else came with the collection. So if that sounds interesting to you, then why don't we go ahead and get started. Alright, let me get zoomed in and we'll get started. Okay, I have you guys all zoomed in now. So like I said, I have the palette. So this is what the palette looks like. Did they make it easy to open on the side? Yes, they did. Okay, good deal. And it's really cool because on the actual palette, it's like velvet, and it's called Plush Like Me. So I guess that's what the plush is right here. Which means it might get dirty, so I'll probably keep it in the box to keep it protected. So I don't know if I get a little closer if you guys can see that. Yeah, there we go. Maybe you can kind of see there you go. So the packaging is really, really nice. I really like that. And then we open it up and it has a nice big mirror. So there's the nice big mirror, and then I'll cover the mirror, and it's got the kind of the same type of detailing here and here, although those aren't plush, that's just cardboard. Then I'll bend this back and show you guys what the shades look like. So there's the shades. It's kind of just a neutral palette, kind of a grungy neutral palette, which I think this is what it was intended to be for like the 90s. I really like it. I think that I can get several looks out of this, and I am looking forward to it. Plus it has the kind of like purple mauve tones that I like to play with in here, so hopefully it's picking up the tones well on camera, but I will swatch the palette out for you guys so that you can see it. So something else I noticed, this is another one where they're using the full-size pans again instead of the smaller size pans that they used to have. So I don't know if that's what they're doing going forward, or if, you know, it's just every occasional palette. Along with the palette, we also have, how many lipsticks? One of mine came broken, but I'm sure they'll replace it, but it came with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different lipsticks. So I will try to swatch all 8 of them, even the one that came broken. And then it came with 4 blush sticks. Is that what it is? Are they all blush sticks? Yes, it came with 4 blush sticks, so I'm not going to try on 4 blush sticks, but I will swatch them all for you. And it came with 4 lippy pencils, so I'll be swatching those for you. I'll try to swatch the lips on my lips along with the lippy pencils, but I won't do the cheeks. That's a bit much. And then last but not least, it came with a shimmering body powder. So we'll be using all of that today. I'll probably, like I said, only use 1 blush, maybe 2, it just depends. But first we're going to start off with the eyes. Lately with ColourPop I've been starting off with no complexion because, you know, the eyeshadow palettes have been real powdery and I've had a lot of fallout. So it just makes it easier on me. So let's go ahead and get started with our eyes real quick. So let's dip into this gorgeous palette. Let's see. Well, we've got there are no glitters first off. Are there any eye safety warnings? I see no eye safety warnings. I love the names on here. Oh, this is awesome. Alright, so I'm going to use the shade Runway to set my base. I don't normally set my base, but since it's here, I'm going to go ahead and use that. For that, I'll use a Jaclyn Hill. I'm going to use all Jaclyn Hill today, pretty much, by the way, because I just got her new collection. JH35 brush right here. And we're just going to go in and put that all over my lid. I do like these pan sizes. I hope they continue this because like I said before, then you could buy singles. Like if you break a shadow, you could buy replacement singles if they were to sell replacement singles. Or you could just find something comparable in ColourPop's collection. It never made sense to me why their single shadows were a different size than the shadows in their palettes. Especially since they make their palettes magnetic. Alright, next I'm going to go into Ironic, which is right next to it. It's real close to my skin tone, so you might not even be able to see it. I'm going to use a... Actually, I'll just use that same brush. There's no point in getting another one dirty. I like this brush a lot. It reminds me of the Sigma E25, I think. And it definitely is powdery. I'm topping off my brush, so I'm just going to run this through my crease. Oh yeah, you can see this. I think it's showing up in the... Yeah, it's showing up on the monitor to me. So I think you can see it in camera just fine. Good. It's a good, just base transition shade. I think we're even. Alright, so let's see. Next up, let's go into, I think that says Velour right here. I'm going to go into the Velour. I'm going to use the same brush and add that into my crease. I need to set this down. This palette's kind of heavy. With the mirror and the heavier, the bigger shadows. So I'm just going to use my little handy mirror here. Hopefully I won't block as much. Oh, that's quite a bit deeper than I originally thought it was. That's pretty. Okay, cool. So I'm going to run that through my crease and bring it down on my outer corner. That's pretty. It's kind of a, I don't know, like a dusty coral, maybe? Dusty pinkish coral. Sorry, I said I'd swatch them for you. I will insert swatches. I will have probably inserted swatches already. I just like to get down into it without even swatching the palette so I can just see how they perform and see how they come across on the eye. So next up, I think I'm going to dip into, oh, there is one with an eye safety warning. How did I not see that on the back? I think there's only one, and it's this one. It's called Velvet One right here. I'm going to dip into this shade right here and put that on my outer corner and a little bit into the crease. Still using the same brush. Actually, maybe I should go with a smaller brush. Nah, we're just going to stick with this one. It's been serving me well. That's pretty. Okay, I think we're pretty even now. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do now is go in with the shade Throwback all over my lid. This shade right here. And for that, we will be using one of my favorite brushes, the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH41 brush right here. And I will get that all over the brush, and then I will of course spray the brush. And I've noticed with these bigger ones, they seem to be packed a little bit harder, maybe? I don't know. I'm still getting a lot of powder cake up though, so I can't necessarily confirm that 100%. Oh wow, that is a pretty shade. Okay, so I think that completes the eyes on the top. This is what we're looking like right now. So I'm going to pop off camera and clean up any fallout that I have and do my complexion real quick, and then I'll come back and we'll play with the blush sticks and the lipsticks and the, what did they call it? Shimmering body powder, which I'm not going to use it on my body. I'm going to use it as my highlighter because it's really pretty. I think it might be a little glittery, but that's okay. I can live with that. So I'll be right back with y'all. Okay, so I am back. All I did was basically put on foundation, concealer, and a little bit of bronzer just up here. I didn't put any down here since we're doing the blush sticks. So we have, like I said, 4 blush sticks. I love the names: Mall Rat, Winona Forever, Skater Boys, and So Called. So let me open them all up and then we'll take a look and we'll figure out what I'm going to use. Okay, first one is Mall Rat. That's nice. I like that one. Okay, so let's swatch that one. This is Mall Rat. Okay, so there's Mall Rat. Then this one is Winona Forever. Looks much deeper. Ooh, that's like a red. I don't know that I'll be pulling that one off. Oh yeah, that is deep. Down. This one's Skater Boys. This is much more my speed right here. More of a neutral pink. So there's Skater Boys. And then last but not least, we have So Called, which is like a burgundy color. Ooh, that's even deeper than the red. But it's more kind of in line with my eye look, so I might actually go ahead and give that one a try. There you go, there's So Called right there. So Mall Rat, Winona Forever, Skater Boys, and So Called right here. So I think we're going to use So Called. Alright, I'm going to use that on a brush. Wish me luck. I don't know what brush, maybe this one since it's not too dense. This is a Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH04. Oh, that's pretty. And yes, I think it goes really pretty with this eye look. It's got a nice sheen to it. So I have not powdered my face yet. I don't know how these perform on top of powder. I usually tend to powder after cream. That's just kind of more my style. It usually works better for me. But I should try these out on top of powder just to see how they perform. So there you go, that's what that looks like. I think that looks good. I like that. It's not as overwhelming as I was afraid it was going to be. I think part of that is the brush is not very dense. If I used a denser brush, I think it might be a little bit overboard. But this is kind of like it's got like a violet undertone to it. So I think it goes really good with the eye look. Okay, are we looking even? A little bit more right here. Okay. I know it's a little bit bright, but I think if I put a little bit of powder over it, it'll be just fine. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and put some powder on, because from what I recall from using previous blush sticks, these don't really dry down, and they weren't dried down on my hands at all. So I don't want to leave it like, it doesn't feel that tacky, but I still want to bring it, I want to tone it down a little bit. So let me grab a powder. I'll just use my Too Faced, what's it called, Born This Way powder. It's well loved. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this huge JH11. No, that might be JH01. I think it's JH01. Yeah, JH01 powder brush. That's huge, but it's so soft. Oh my gosh. So excited to have this set. Like, I wanted the Master Collection when she first released it, but I just couldn't bring myself to spend the money, and they had it like 40% off. I was like, yes, please. Yeah, see, it's already toning it down. This gives me kind of that flushed from within look, which is part of what I love about cream products. So there we go. That is what we look like now that I have set my face with powder. It's definitely not as overwhelming. I really like that blush color. I could even stand to go back and put a little bit more on, but I will resist. I just love blush that much, you know, but I will resist. I will leave it alone. So there you go. That was So Called, I believe. Yes, that was the shade So Called. This one right here, which looks the scariest. That red one looks pretty intimidating too, but I'm starting to think that it might not be too bad once we blend it out and everything. So, okay. I'm going to try to be really quick and do, I'm just going to swatch the lippy pencils on the back of my hand. Since I'm not sure which lippy pencils, oh wait, we're not done with the face, I forgot. We've got the Soul Body Powder, which I'm going to use on my face. Okay, this is what the Soul Body Powder looks like. It's gorgeous. How can I not use this? It's so pretty. I think it's going to be a little glittery, but that's okay. We're going to use a my old eyes, JH09 for that. And I think this is like the perfect shade to go with the eye look that I have on too, so. Yeah, it's a little glittery, like I was afraid of, but that's okay. That's why it's more of a body powder. But I guess back in the 90s, we didn't really highlight. We did lots of glitter on our bodies, but we didn't really highlight our faces. We did do glitter on our faces though. So this kind of fits in. It's like a really pretty pink and gold shift, like duochrome. Really pretty. Let me use a powder brush just to kind of tone down the glitter look a little bit, and that's how that looks. That's very pretty. I really like that. Okay. All right, I just realized that we have not finished the lower lash line or the inner corner, so let's go ahead and take care of that. So for the lower lash line, I'm going to use the shade Velvet one down here. and take that all across my lower lash line. For that, I'm going to use a Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH39 brush. It's like a pencil brush. And just gently dip in there, making sure to tap off my brush so that I don't get a lot of fallout, because I did have a lot of fallout earlier when I went off camera to clean up my face and do my foundation. And what I think I might dip into Velour to help blend that out, because it's a little deep, so I'm going to dip into Velour to help blend that out. Just so it's not quite so dark. Alright, and then for my inner corner, we're going to use this shade right here called Video Night. Oh wow, that brings back memories. Video Night. I'm going to Blockbuster. Took us forever to pick out a video, and then we'd go home and watch the video. So I'm going to put that in my inner corner. I'm going to use a JH38 for that. This looks kind of like a pinkish color. I am going to spray it with water. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That is just the perfect shade. I'll rub it down a little bit since it got really dark under my eye. Okay, so there we go. There's the final eye look before lashes and liner and all that fun stuff. So, okay, I can move the palette out of the way now and we can get on with the lippy pencils. Okay, cool. So we'll kind of go in order of lightest to darkest. So we have over the liner. Is that right? Yeah, over the liner. Okay, so over the liner is this shade right here. This is the lightest one, I think, over the liner. Okay, and then we have Good and Plenty, which I think they already have this shade. I feel like this is a duplicate shade. Good and Plenty. I feel like I have Good and Plenty, but oh well, not in this special packaging, I don't. And I use Good and Plenty a lot, I feel like, so that's more of a neutral pink, so there you go. And then Grunge Girl. Oh yeah, very grungy. Most definitely a 90s lip shade right there. And last but not least is CD, I think. Right? Let me make sure. Yeah, CD. Yeah, what are those? We don't use those anymore. There we go. So there's all four of the shades right there. So yes, they're all very grunge 90s, very much. This is probably the only one that's more of a neutral pink. The rest of them are more grungy looking. So let's bust out these lips and try them all on. Okay, so now we're gonna swatch all of the lipsticks on my lips. I'm gonna start from lightest to deepest. I have to say I was super excited to see them finally come out with some more Luxe lipsticks because I love their Luxe lipsticks. However, I don't think I've ever tried the Blur formula, so I'm not sure if I like that formula or not. I've tried, I think, the cream and the matte, but I don't think I've tried the Blur. So we'll see. Hopefully the Blur is good. All right, the first one we're starting with is Gen X. And this is the lightest shade. It's a nice nude pink, so that's super easy to go with. I like the formula. It's like matte but creamy. Okay. And that matches this eye look really well. So there's Gen X. Okay, and next up we have Kate. This is the one that sadly came broken, so I have to be really careful with it. You can see that it nicked the lid. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it nicked the lid or whatever, and then it came broken, so I'm gonna keep it down low and try to be as gentle as I can. So here is Kate. Okay, and next up we have Band T. Oh, like band t-shirt probably, because that's all we wore. And that's what this looks like. It's a little bit more brownish, kind of a blush brown. Okay, so there's Band T. Alright, so next up we have Cryin'. And that's what Cryin' looks like. There's Cryin'. That actually looks pretty good with this look too. Okay, so we are halfway through. So this one is called Regulate. Pretty sure that came from a R&B or rap song back in the 90s. It's kind of like a shade that I wore back in the 90s. That's really close to a shade that I wore back every day in the 90s, like a kind of a reddish brown. I'll have to dig out because I have, oh, actually I do have it right in front of me right here. I kept it. It's called Redwood from Revlon. This is Redwood. Oh man, it's not even swatching hardly. I mean, this is old. I kept it for nostalgia's sake and just to see if I could ever dupe it. So maybe this isn't as close as I thought it was. No, it's not as close as I thought it was. Well, it's not bad. Okay, so this is what I wore back in the 90s, and this is Regulate right here. So, I mean, they're similar. Not exactly the same, but they're similar. And on the lips, I'm telling you, it looks a lot. It reminds me a lot of that shade. All right, next up we have Matte AF. The swatches are getting sloppier and sloppier. Oh, here's Matte AF. I forgot to do that with Regulate, sorry. Okay, we have two left. So these are dark. This one's Call Waiting. Oh my gosh, does that bring back memories? I mean, now everybody has Call Waiting, but it was like a really big deal when Call Waiting came out. Because it used to be you'd call your friends and you'd have to call back because their phone was busy. And you'd have to wait, you know, until their phone wasn't busy to get through. And then Call Waiting came along. And then Caller ID came along. And woo, that blew everyone's mind. There is Call Waiting. Alright, last one. It is called Plucked, which, if I were to guess, that would be a reference to our eyebrows. And this looks like a very deep shade. There we go. So there is Plucked. Right there. So, alrighty. Let me go off camera and figure out which lip I'm going to wear out of these 8 gorgeous lips. And I'll probably wear a lip liner as well. I guess I could come back on camera and put it on so that you guys can see the lip liner and the lipstick. But then let me do my lashes and liner off camera and I'll be right back with y'all. Okay, so I am back. I've got my lashes on and my mascara. So for my mascara, it's the same one I've been using over and over again. It's this one's about done. It's the L'Oreal Lash Magnifying Mascara. It's starting to kind of flake on me now, so I can tell that the lifespan's pretty much run out on it. And then to adhere my lashes, I use the Kiss Lash glue liner that I always use. And then for my lashes, I used Lash Scoop, which is a subscription service that I've talked about in the past, and there's the link down in the description box. The style's Lyris, which doesn't really matter because unfortunately I don't think you can go back to them and like purchase styles, at least not at this point, that they've had in the past. You just get, every month you get a new set of 5 lashes, you know, to try out, and you, unfortunately, if you fall in love with one, you can't go back and buy one. But there is another lash subscription service that I use that you can, called the Dollar Lash Club, and I'll be doing more videos on that once I get my October box, so stay tuned for that. Alright, so I decided to go in with the liner over the liner, or is it, yeah, over the liner. So let's do our liner, and as you, I'm sure can guess, my lips are not very happy with me right now. I don't know, I might have picked the wrong liner to go with this lipstick. I picked the shade Kate, which is more of a kind of a neutral pink, so it may not work. This is the one that's broken too, by the way. Oh no, that's working. So there we go. That is over the liner and the shade Kate on my lips right there. And of course everything on my face will be down in the description box below. Everything that's the final look on my face will be in the description box down below. So that you'll know what blush I'm using and what lip liner and what lipstick I'm using. I do want to play with the grungy colors in here because they just call to me, and I mean, this is a 90s palette. I was a 90s baby, you know. Not really a 90s baby. I was a 90s teenager. I went to high school in the 90s. So yeah, this palette calls to me a lot. I really like it, and I really like all the lipsticks. The blush sticks are really pretty. That red one intimidates me a little bit, but the one that I put on intimidated me, and then once I put some some powder on it, it looks really pretty now, I think. So I like the way it turned out. So here are the eyes. Okay, and this side. So that is the final look. I hope that you guys like it. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Let me know your favorite lip color. I kind of liked them all. Kind of fell in love with all of them, and I'm really excited to have them all for the fall. So I'm really glad that I got the entire collection. When I saw they had all those Luxe lipsticks, I was like, yep, sold, entire collection, because I really like ColourPop's lip formula normally. I didn't realize they were the blur lipsticks, but I like the formula. It feels creamy, and I think it kind of fills in the lip lines. I think that's why it's called blur, to kind of blur the lines in your lips. So yeah, I'll make my duck lips. I think they look good. I think it's a nice formula. So highly recommend. So far, if you like any of the colors, I highly recommend the blush sticks or the liners or the lipstick, and I can recommend at least half the palette because I used about half the palette. And if I have time to do another video, then I'll use the other half. But no promises, because I have a lot of palettes to film for you guys. I have a lot of good stuff that I just got in, as you'll see in my haul videos. So no promises, but if I have time, I will try to squeeze in look number 2 with this palette, but no promises. We'll see. So with all that being said, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up because that really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. I'm just a small little micro channel trying to get noticed out here, so any thumbs up, any comments greatly, greatly help me start to get noticed by YouTube. And also, I would love to have you as a subscriber, and if you do subscribe, make sure to ring that notification bell so that you'll get notified of all my future content. I do tons of ColourPop videos if you love ColourPop. I actually have a ColourPop marathon going on right now where I am attempting to film with a ColourPop palette like at least every other day. In between other content because I have so many ColourPop palettes because they release so many collections. So I've bought so many over the past few months that I just haven't had time to film with. So that's what I'm trying to do, is go ahead and film with them so that you can see some fresh new looks with palettes that may have even been out for a while, but you can see some fresh new looks with them or whatever the case may be. Plus it gives me a chance to play with it, on camera. And let's see what else. I do reviews, tutorials, unboxings. I do tag videos. I do hauls. Oh, and I do giveaways. I always do giveaways. I've got one coming up. I don't do huge giveaways because, again, I'm a small micro channel, so this is all me paying for everything. I don't get any type of monetization yet. I'm too small for that. So it's all coming out of my pocket. But I do quite a few giveaways. So if that interests you, I would definitely recommend subscribing. And what else? I think that's it. I think that covers everything. So with all that being said, again, thank you for watching. I hope that you are having a great day or evening wherever you are in this world. I hope that you are staying safe. I hope that you are staying healthy. And I look forward to talking to you again real soon. Bye!